Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year! With the first month of the year and fun fact, my birthday month, I wanted to do something fun and vibrant with a dash of introspection, of course, because what's the new year without a little bit of reflection? So let's get started. With this month, I am creating a really cool layered effect to resemble the deep ocean and create the perfect environment for a little koi fishy as my theme this month. So let's get started with the quote page. January always feels like standing at the edge of something deep, not in a scary way, but in the quiet moment where you're looking down, wondering if you're ready to step in. This month, I wanted my bullet journal to reflect that feeling of being out of my depth, of trying something new, and of letting myself go a little further than what feels comfortable. So, of course, I kept my quote pretty simple. The phrase out of my depth usually sounds negative, like being overwhelmed or unprepared, but this year I wanted to reclaim it. I wanted to mean that I'm trying even when I'm unsure, saying yes before I feel completely ready, and allowing myself to be a beginner again. And koi fish felt like the perfect addition for this. They're calm, steady, resilient, and they move through water that's constantly shifting. As Dorian once said, they just keep swimming. And that's the overall energy that I want to bring into January. So I'm keeping the wording and lettering pretty simple but impactful, and just having it surrounded by the depth of the ocean. Could be a little bit on the nose, but it still fits. I just wanted this page to feel open and quiet, like that moment right before you step into the water where everything feels still and you're just taking a deep breath. As I move into the rest of the setup, you'll start to see more layers, more movement, and more depth, kind of like easing yourself into deeper water instead of jumping in all at once. With the quote page all done, we move forward to my January cover page. All you'll need is a cutting mat and an X-Acto knife, and I'm going to be using a little bit of washi tape to hold the page down while I do my cutouts. Now, I do not recommend doing it the way I'm doing it. I think an angel was looking down at me from above for some reason, because there was probably like 100 instances where I could have accidentally amputated all of my fingers. I really took like zero precautions for all of this, so please do not look at this as a good example. But anyways, would you guys believe me if I told y'all that I didn't have an idea for a January theme until after Christmas? I felt so stressed and just completely stunted. I was scared that I reached the bottom of my creative well, so I was basically scouring Pinterest for an ounce of inspiration. And that was when I found this really cool craft idea that some were doing with paper layering over each other to create a deep ocean effect. And I thought, how cool would it be to use that in a bullet journal setting? So here we are, thankfully with no one bleeding out, and while I was doing all these cutouts, I was just praying for this to pull off, especially while I was recording because there was no backup plan, my friends. Plan A and plan A only in this house. As I'm working on this page, I keep thinking about how growth usually doesn't happen in the shallow end. The things that changed me the most in the past came from moments where I didn't feel fully prepared, like at this moment right now, where I had to trust myself to figure things out as I go. Cutting these out made me realize that part of the fun is not entirely knowing what's going on, but still hoping for the best in the end. Also, just relaying that little fun fact again that I added in the beginning, January is my birth month. I feel that it's pretty cool to have your birthday be exactly 1 month after Christmas because it's a good amount of break in between to let Christmas have its moment and for me too. So, with that being said, I did want to point out that if I had a nickel for every time I did a blue related theme for my birth month, blue being my favorite color, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. With all my pages cut out and thankfully all my fingers still intact, it is now time for my favorite step of the process, and that is coloring everything in and bringing it all to life. We're going to start at the very back and then move forward. That way I kind of know what I'm working with the next layer. So I, of course, want to have my darkest color be at the very center to resemble the deepest part of the ocean. And you'll start to see that I'm flipping pages back and forth to kind of see what the ending result would look like and to make adjustments if I need to, like adding more shadows around the edges to create that extra depth. And when it's time to move on to the next layer, I first start with tracing the layer after that one onto the current layer so that I kind of have a good visual of where the actual color part is going to appear to the eye, if any of that made any sense. And we just keep repeating this process, going lighter and lighter until I reach the top layer. For my topmost layer, I wanted the color to be so pale that it blended in with the white page. So I started out with the blending marker that doesn't have any color on it. This will be my coloring base where any color I add will instantly blend onto the page. So besides using only blue for this layer, I decided to go in with a bit more pink to get some of that warmth in and let the sun shine onto our water surface. And because I introduced pink, I went back in to add a few more notes of it to the other layers so that it keeps everything all nice and blended. With all the layers done and the depth created, we of course have to add the title of the cover page, and I just wanted to keep things on the simple side and just do some basic lettering. Afterwards, there's nothing left to do except add our main subject, the koi fish, of course, and voila, we have ourselves the deep ocean, which, now that I think about it, doesn't really make sense for the koi fish since I believe they're freshwater, so I guess we have ourselves a deep pond. So those with thalassophobia, you can rest easy now. I'm actually so happy with how it turned out. I mean, look at how cool that depth effect looks. It's so stunning and such a showstopper, ironically, at the start of the show. But let's move forward to our calendar spread. For my calendar spread, I wanted to keep it for the most part functional, but still very connected to the theme. I'm going to be using the same layered ocean effect again, but this time I'm just going to be coloring it in because at this point I wanted to try to stop wasting so many pages. The ocean effect will only be in two corners of the page, framing the calendar instead of overwhelming it. The calendar itself will sit right in the center, almost like an island of structure surrounded by deep water. And that felt pretty on theme with this month for me. Like, my life will have its deadlines, its routines, its structured responsibilities, but around all of that, there's still movement, uncertainty, and growth. And it's all happening quietly in the background. And I think that's the kind of balance that I want this month. So like I said, I was trying to stop wasting paper at this point and just color in my layered ocean instead, and it still has its effect of depth. I just kept with the same color scheme, so it's kind of a repeat of what I did for the cover. I did decide just to add a few small details like the lily pad and the small little koi fish. For the font, I went with something flowy and natural to keep with the theme of ocean and movement, but I still wanted it to have a nice classy look to it, so I added the serifs on there. I kept going back and forth with how I wanted to color in the letters. Had I gone with a basic blue ombre, I felt that it would have made the spread just be a bit of a blue overload. So I went with the patterns of a koi fish instead to kind of help break up the blue and add a different kind of vibrancy to the spread with the bright orange. And as I'm coloring this in now, I can now see that it just looks like an orange cow pattern. I just hope that when I add the black that you guys can see the vision here. And of course, the star of our show, I wanted this koi fish to be a bit more detailed version of the one on the cover page, since this one is more blown up. So with the outlining, I'm going to go back in with some more touches of detail to really accentuate the movement of the fish. Koi fish are really one of my favorite aquatic animals to draw. Like, it's up there with jellyfish. I just love drawing things that have a natural flow to it and have such beautiful detail that you really can't go wrong when you're outlining it. I'm always in awe when I see people with tattoos of koi fish or jellyfish because it's so easy for it to be drawn so beautifully, at least in my opinion. So here you're really just seeing me enter my flow state right now with me adding in all the lining and detailing for the fish. And later on, you'll actually see that I'm gonna go back in with some more dramatic lining because I felt that the fish was falling a little flat to me and it needed something added to feel more dynamic. So really, soon here you'll see that I'm just going to be stressing out certain areas with a black outlining pen to give the fish that extra punch of oomph. My January setup is officially complete. Thank you so much for sticking around and trusting the process. If you love this and want more, you can follow me at Dilly Doon Journals on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and of course YouTube. Thank you again, and just keep swimming.